Okay, so today we're going to be reviewing this Dodge Charger SXT 2017. It is all-wheel drive, as you can tell. You can probably tell based off the rims and the height that it's sitting at. I bought this car when I was 21. It is a secondary car I bought, or vehicle. We do have this right here, it locks it for me. Take a quick peek inside. So, this car was originally bought with about 50,000 miles. It's my first car that I bought on my own, besides the truck I bought. It is a four-door vehicle. As you can see, there's vents back here. Let's see if we can turn on the flash. Cannot. There's a couple vents back here. These can also come with the option of them being heated in the back. I do have the package where seats are heated. I do have cloth. I personally prefer cloth. Now let's go to the driver's side. A little bit more light here so you can see the dash, everything. Since I did get this car, I did not get it with the package with the paddle shifters. Something that next time I would highly recommend. I'm probably gonna end up installing it myself in the future. But yeah, so like you guys see, we got these guys, cloth. They hold up pretty well. I've only had the car for about exactly a year actually as of now. Very, very comfortable if you're taller. Let's see if we can. Okay, so we're gonna turn that off because we are in a garage with a closed door. So as you can see, I'll close this real quick. We do have this display. I do have the Uconnect system on here. As you can see, we do have the heated seats, but we are currently there. We are not on start. Otherwise I could turn them on. Overall for this car, Bluetooth is great. Sound system is great. I actually bought this with, let's open the store again, and with the Alpine sound system. No, I'm no professional, so take it easy on me. So, favorite thing about this vehicle catches my eye is actually the steering wheel. The steering wheel is very, very nice. I love the steering wheel. Steering wheel makes quite the difference on a vehicle. For me, I know for many people it does not matter. For me, I genuinely enjoy a bigger, just a bigger steering wheel. Grip is a little bit bigger, as you can see right here. It also has really nice, let's see if we can get a light going in here. You can see that stitching is very nice. It's held up very well so far. This car gone up to, it has, so you can see, 82,000 miles so far. Bought this car with about 50,000 miles as of last year. I know that's crazy, it's a lot of miles, but I do enjoy driving my cars. I am young, and why not? And age does not matter, just you know, enjoying my vehicle. Try to get it cleaned up a little bit, but this actually does slide back. You have your cup holders. Room wise, the reason I got a four-door vehicle over, excuse that mess, over a lot of other options that there was actually the room. The room made a huge difference for me. Just I'm a very family-oriented type of guy, so four doors made sense. I did have also have a Dodge Ram 1500. Gifted that to my parents, so I no longer have that. See if I can do a review on it one day. Let's go back around. So we got, I should probably not clean the trunk, but it's pretty realistic to be completely honest. Nobody has a clean trunk. I have all my amenities for work, as you can see. It, no trouble, go shopping, everything. Actually fit quite a bit in there. Now some issues with this car that I have seen after 30,000 miles. For one, let's go to the front over here. Try to not show my license plate. We are gonna need some more light on that, but there's a couple plastics down there actually that are hanging. They were making just this flappy noise as I was driving down the highway, and I thought something was broken. Turned out it's just this piece of plastic. It's just hanging down. I ended up doing some putty on it, and it has not made a noise since then. It's only been a couple days, so don't take my word for it as of right now. Later on, I could let you guys know. One issue I did have with this car was a rental before this. And it was on a lease with a family. Very few miles were put on it as well. As I told you guys, not many miles on it. There was one issue with this. I took this vehicle on a trip with some family members and friends. This guy right here, you guys probably can tell it's a little beat up. Be wary as I am, record on a phone. That guy actually did not want to lock up. I kept trying to close the trunk, would not close. I thought this was the issue. I thought this needed fixed. Took apart all that. I took it to AutoZone to get some, hints and stuff. Guy tried to pull that up with a crowbar, and after I decided that that was not it, I ripped off this whole plastic. There's a couple screws in here that I moved it up a notch until it was fine. Just trial and failure until it started closing fine. Recently I did notice it started coming back slowly. Probably I didn't screw the screws in hard enough and it's moved. That's my fault. But yeah, it's been a great car. All-wheel drive. Where I live, there's actually quite a bit of snow, so that is a reason I went this route. I was gonna go with a V8, but this is pretty happy with this decision. Just felt like I needed a review. It's very underrated, to be completely honest. For if you want a vehicle that makes sense, instead of driving a rear-wheel drive. I did used to have a 2006 Ford Mustang rear-wheel drive. Absolute nightmare in the winter. So this all-wheel drive is actually pretty good. Does not compare to my girlfriend's Audi all-wheel drive, but it is up there. My Dodge Ram 1500 was actually a lot better in snow than this, but this, and for the ride height on this, is actually, you have quite a bit of clearance, if you can tell. You'd really have to look at this and look at a picture of a, just a stock non-all-wheel drive Charger. Compared to a 392, a V8, or just a V6 that doesn't have all-wheel drive, they don't sit as high. Which I enjoy this because the snow, it piles up. Even when they clean it off, you're still gonna hit it. And to be completely honest, I've hit so much snow with the front of this vehicle, it's not even funny. But it's worked out pretty well in my favor. Not once have I been limited to not being able to drive my car and the severe weather we do live in. But yeah, looks like we'll take it out for a drive here in a little bit. I was checking that good piece, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, here we go again, second try. Here's the fresh side. I do have an exhaust on this, so it's not gonna sound stock, so be wary with your headphones. Okay, we are back in the car. I actually drove away from my home just to ensure safety of my peace and quiet. So we're looking at the display over here. The car's on. You could probably hear it. So settings, you have your just basic options. I will say I do like this big display. And for many of you wondering, or you may already know, I will say just in case, you can change the back, so it won't look like you're a wannabe Hellcat owner or you just like the logo. I personally just enjoy changing it up here and there, just because the option is there, and why not? So what we will do here is, like, let's say here, you got your basic options. I'm gonna turn off the heater real quick so you guys probably can hear me. So yep, you got your display brightness. Keep my manual. I like certain settings. Very picky, but say I wanted to say, hey, today I'm bored of that same thing. Let's do this guy. So we'd end up doing this guy. Just leave it there. Done. Doesn't have to turn off and on. You can turn off the beeping if you don't like it. The control screen timeout, you can do that as well. You have this very neat thing where you notice most chargers where they have the running LED lights. I personally like how they look, so I have them running during the day. You can actually turn them off right there. I keep mine on. I really enjoy them. Your other options, just basic options really. This is a 2017. I have not seen the most updated one. Your doors and locks, like any other thing. And like one question you may be wondering, I don't know if you guys know about it either, but one thing I did notice on long trips, when it's really hot out, I have a tendency, or my significant other has a tendency of putting their phone here, and they will just shut off the screen, and you can see it's still on, and throw on Netflix, and so they can watch it and just relax on the trip while I drive away. The one issue is with that, as you can see this, boom, we'll turn back on. Now, it was not made for this, but a phone, you've held a phone long enough, you've pushed the phone to its limits a little bit more. Most of you guys may or may not have. I have, personally. And your phone will actually heat up to the point where it will mess with your screen. So then you'll have an issue where you're touching this, but it's actually touching this. And I thought I had completely broken the thing, but not a lot of people talk about it. That is one thing I would like to say. Also, when it's very hot outside, my screen has gone crazy and just started selecting things, and I couldn't even play music on my phone. It was a big issue. I actually just left the vehicle, and once I got to work, and I just hoped for the best. I did try restarting it, many other things. Of course, I could go disconnect the battery and do like a whole thing on that, but like many of you guys, I do not have time. I have a normal job and I have quotas to meet and such. So the thing was, I got back. This actually worked. Once I got back, I was very happy. It only happened 3 times, and all 3 times were actually in the summer, at peak heat times, which is usually 2-3 around there. But yeah, so that's just something to say. So we got some options here as well. As you can see, better lighting, very nice steering wheel. The layout is very nice. I should probably I have no issues with any of these buttons. I'm wearing tear. I don't know if you can see that. Could just be how dirty my fingers are. We'll find out. Yep, that's how dirty my, great. Okay, so we've held up very well. This, you can throw it in manual, all the way to drive, essentially. boom, you have manual, it's first gear, second gear, and such. As you can see, it changes over there as well. It shows you M, it shows you you're on manual. You can throw this guy back over, back in park. Very, very easy to understand and just drive. As you guys can see, like any other vehicle, I don't know, we'll just go through it, but you can click on that 10 kilometers. I don't know why you would do that, but but you can. Oil life, usually when people do an oil change on my vehicle, or if I do it myself, I'll go through and actually select this to reset it. Once it hits 50%, I'm changing the oil by then. It shows you if all-wheel drive is active. The car actually detects once the weather gets weird, if the roads are wet, anything like that, all-wheel drive will be on completely, like all the time. And just your simple features. This is very handy, actually. Coolant temp, transmission temp. That does take quite a bit of warm up since it is 34 degrees out. Your oil pressure, which is obviously very important. We're back to that screen. We can go back down. Your fuel economy. Now, as you guys can see right here, my fuel economy, I'm averaging about 18.9, which isn't terrible. I am very hard on my vehicles, so that is great. On my Dodge Ram, I was averaging about, if I was in town driving around that thing, probably about 6 miles to the gallon, to be completely honest. So I am very happy with that. That's just highway driving, just combined, really. I reset this about a month ago, so it's kind of based off of that. At one point, I did have it over 20 miles to the gallon. On highway, I can actually average 26 to 29 miles to the gallon. Depends on wind, who you're driving behind, such things. I do not encourage any of that, but those are things that do affect it. Driving around town, it's like any other vehicle. You're not going to get great gas mileage. Like, you're constantly stopping, going. You're going to drain gas either way. So I'm not even going to talk about that, because that's common sense right there. We go back over here. So you actually have the option of open your trunk right here. I know, wow, great. Everybody knows how to do that. Okay, cool. So you can actually turn up the lighting on, and then that turns on all your lights, which most vehicles have. If we go to this guy, we can actually, I just need to turn on my lights on automatic, so my actual lights are on. But as you guys can tell, this guy, boom, brightness actually goes very low, which is very nice on the eyes for long drives. I don't know if you guys can tell based off of, see if we can get in there, little lights that will actually turn on if you turn the setting up high enough. They will actually turn on like midway, a little bit higher than midway, which is very nice. Not just for looks, but well, who am I kidding? Just really for looks and just how nice it looks. Those are the only options to say. No, this isn't no Mercedes. All the lighting features and stuff. You get what you pay for, which is well worth what I did pay for it. I'm very in good condition. I did clean it up recently. Looks good. That is just dirt. That is not wear and tear. That's just dirt. But yeah, so we'll take her out for a drive just a little bit, just to show you guys how it interacts with me driving it. Just waiting to go through here and then end up giving away my personal information. That'd be great. So let's go right here. It's actually, let's throw this guy on sport. And actually, just from what I know, now you maybe correct me down. You can correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong. It just affects your steering wheel. That is about it. Do I know if I have to restart it or anything for any of that? No idea. I just do it and I just go for it. Another thing that I can say is turn off your vehicle. You hold your off and engine start. And the brake, if I can actually do it right. Bear with me. I am not perfect. So it's on sport, and then it turns that off. Electronic stability control off, which, like I said, this car is all-wheel drive, and I do like to enjoy my vehicle. So when I say enjoy my vehicle, I mean drive it kind of hard. From my perspective, anybody else has probably different meanings of that, but just to clear it up. And it will actually tail out and stuff like that. You know, it's more than capable of that with the power it has, close to 300 horsepower, which I am not saying is a lot, but it is more than my Mustang that I had back then, as I did have a V6 back then. So, yep, let's take her out for a drive. We're not going to drive her too crazy now as I am. Very weird as I'm driving and holding my phone. But just for the sake of somebody wanting to buy a vehicle, or, you know, making the decision, being able to help out, that would, you know, all that counts. Let's go and get her driving. I do have an exhaust on this car. Not all cars, when they're stock, they are not this loud. I am not flooring it, if you can tell. Just being very easy. And it does have crackles and pops when I shift it manually, which is 10 out of 10, very enjoyable to me. I did not know it was going to do that after I put an exhaust on it. Do very much enjoy it, though, I will say. Some people don't like that. That's fine. You know, I just like enjoying the thing, you know. Oh man. Turn signals, everything's on. Cool. And it looks like we got the arrow. Nice. So we'll actually get on the highway just to show you guys a little of a pull on it. Just, you know, a lot of people talk down on a V6, but for your first, you know, responsible somewhat of a car, you can actually enjoy it somewhat, you know. It's it's livable. Okay, bear with my awful driving with one hand. Thank you. About 75 there. Am I lying? Who knows? Probably not. So, you know, it sounds good, and that's not even with the windows down, really. You know, if I downshift, and I don't know if this does justice, but be wary of all the noise that's about to happen. Very satisfying to me, honestly. And roll up the windows again because it is a little cold. We'll downshift it one more time. And we'll put it in automatic. Now, I don't know if that did justice of how it sounds. But, you know, hopefully it did. Probably can't do anything better with that's what we're looking at. You know, from a view of a driver, you know, you're probably looking at this. Steering wheel actually does come out if you want to change that. So you can, that's something that I didn't see on a whole lot of vehicles that I test drove. I did test drive some Mercedes and stuff, that BMWs that did do that, but for the most part, a lot of them did not. And I really enjoy my steering wheel close to me, just for the driving experience behind it. But yeah, oh, we got a car behind me. It's a yellow car as well. Don't want to make them mad. I'll move over for them. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, shoot a comment. I'll probably comment back trilingual, so I can probably, you know, if you get lucky, I can probably know your language and we can communicate with you guys. Sweet. Until next time, hopefully. There we go. See you guys.